You guys already start?
Sure.
This usually,
Well, Peter, you were here first.
hit mine tonight.
Put yourself right down, make yourself look important.
Okay, I don't know how to do that.
I hope so, I think so. I haven't heard otherwise.
Taking notes,
Why would I do that?
because I asked where I asked it. Say please.
You did, I missed that.
Yeah.
You've done the notes every time, haven't you? You want me to do it this time? I can do it.
If you want to, I'm not gonna say no.
It's not that I don't, it's not that I want to, but I'm okay with doing it for this time.
You do this one, I'll do the next one.
Sounds,
You were a professional trainer, weren't you?
I was professionally
Yeah.
trained. I hone in my ears.
Everybody get one of those?
Gavin must have one. He's got the whole pile.
Oh, yeah.
The other guy threw them in front of me. Get wound up.
You need one, Brian?
I'm all set, yeah. Do-do-do.
Oh, a wonderful sidewalk.
Okay, so, last year's efforts to find a contractor did not work out, couldn't find anyone. I met 3 contractors down there. Of those 3, one gave me a price after I called 4 times to remind him.
That's encouraging, huh?
Yeah. So then this year,
I have
Sarah, our librarian, posted on Front Porch Forum, and we got 3 responses. 2 of those don't do sidewalks, whatever. But one, Cody Jetty, responded quickly and expressed his interest. I met him down there about 3 weeks ago to look at it, and he followed up quickly with a proposal and then with his insurance information. So the other price that I got was for $14,000. So Cody's is considerably less. I just found out that Cody is Maurice's nephew.
Yep.
So now I know. I did call 2 of Cody's references. His previous employer, he's young. He seems to be just starting out. I get the impression. I called his previous employer, who gave me an excellent recommendation, and he gave me the name of one residential client who he did work for. Again, excellent recommendation. You know, good worker, diligent, calls back, and he has called me back. I'll say, calls you right back as soon as you have a question, which is a good sign. So, as far as the trustees are concerned, we would like to use Cody to fix the sidewalks. You'll recall the scope of the work. It was about 40% of the sidewalk along the front of the library has either sunk or is in the process of sinking. We're gonna dig up the curbs and replace it with a monolithic curb. And then we're going to fix the little piece of sidewalk that connects to the back porch, that little 10-foot piece. And we're gonna get rid of the second ADA curb cut. We don't really need 2. We have 1. It connects to both doors, which are both ADA accessible. And we're gonna seal the black coat, seal the pavement and repaint, because we wanna make the front parking space the official ADA space. So, but the lines are faded. They're like these lines out here. You can barely see them anymore.
Are you gonna tilt your blacktop back?
Well,
Doesn't it go in towards the
You know,
curb?
that's the thing, you know, if you look at the library on the far right, that area, the blacktop looks flat. On the other hand, there's no sign that the water lingers and dries in pools. There's no like residual pool, so it does flow out. But I'm having, I discussed with Cody that maybe in that corner, just against the curb, when he has to make his cut for the new sidewalk, we cut back a little bit more of the blacktop and just raise it a little bit just to help the water flow out of that area. The whole parking lot is pretty flat. I'm surprised it does drain. The building probably could have been 6 inches higher up, you know, so you can
Yeah.
get, but it is what it is. So Kathy suggested that I come down and talk to everybody about the project and the status, and so that's where we are.
Looks good.
You guys got questions for him? Any concerns? Looks like you're on your own.
Yeah, looks great.
Looks like you're spending some time at it, making sure you try to get it done right.
I'm surprised that laborers seems like get a lot out of the break count, but yeah, it looks like a good quote.
Yeah, I think it is, compared to the other one.
Yeah.
I mean, you can get 100% difference in quotes.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Was the other one a local?
Fairfax. I was gonna, actually, we were gonna go with that guy. He was older gentleman, more experienced, but, Sarah's husband, Dave, is the director of Public Works at the St. Albans Town or St. Albans
Oh,
City?
yeah,
I can't
one or the
remember, I
other,
can't remember
yeah.
which one. And he said he had heard
So
things, things, and so luckily this,
If you don't get a chance, you'll never get an older, experienced guy, so.
Yeah.
If we can do somebody close to town,
Yeah.
that's kind of, if we could, I'd prefer that.
Yeah.
like again, I think he is just starting out. He doesn't have a lot of experience, but, you know, his communication skills are good. He seems reliable.
Yeah.
Good.
When he's close enough, we can harass him afterwards.
Exactly, exactly.
That's a big plus. And we know another relative we can harass, so. No names would be mentioned, but.
And we do have money in our repairs, our budget repair line for this, plus some extra. So we have that cash in the budget right now to pay for this.
Yeah, good. Yes. I'd say, looks like you ought to just make a deal with them, and get it started.
Okay, we will.
Sounds like a good
Kathy,
plan.
do you need a contract with that?
They are gonna take care of all of that, yeah.
Libraries will handle it?
Well, if you need help, what we usually do when we contract with contractors is we'll put together a contract and then give it to our legal counsel to consider whether there's anything missing but we don't it's pretty small, pretty small. I don't think you need to do
We
that.
don't need any more.
Nope.
It seems,
Come say, hey, it turned out great, come check it out.
yeah, it seems like,
Yeah, come back and let us know how it turned out.
All right, so at a minimum, probably just initial his proposal and that'll do it. Yeah, I'll let you know how it went.
No, appreciate that. Always good to know what's happening.
One more question about a W-9. Do we charge sales tax on the proposals or how do you guys work that?
Usually get non-profit.
So no tax when you would do your contracts?
I'll have to look back,
Like
but I don't think so.
school jobs, you know, the bid should not include sales tax.
Right.
Yeah,
The
no.
school is-
Municipals usually is that
We're
way.
we wouldn't have sales tax on there.
Can I see that? I just wonder. Charge tax. I'll ask him.
It doesn't look like it.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'll just double check. Okay.
Well, thank you, Peter.
Good luck.
All right, yep, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for swinging by.
Yep. Bye now.
Well, we got a man here with a laptop price for us, I guess. We might as well roll him through at the same time.
We have 3 bids for the well, actually 2 things. We have, firstly, the Chester A. Arthur grant. We've received notice that we will be getting that. We will be receiving that. We haven't heard how much it's going to be for, and it's supposed to be in early May, but now it's early May, so I don't know when it's coming in. So, do you want to go for it? I know that. Okay, we can have these. We just need to open those and check them out. Mo did
We'll
the
let you do it.
bidding
You
and
got
talked
better
to.
eyesight. I'll deal with contracts.
You got your knife on it?
You sure I cut the last one off? Joe wouldn't be too happy if I cut his. Pike Industries.
So
should
this-
sharpen it before the next bid open.
So with these bids, including doing, if we got the grant money, you know, for mileage, or is it a per ton price, or how?
I did mine per ton, which I would recommend. They
Yeah.
look at all of them per ton.
You gonna write that down, Kathy? Price, total
Yep.
price bid is 278, 769.15.
For how much?
Per
Per,
tonnage?
for, is there a tonnage?
29.85 a ton.
Thank you.
How much?
25.89 ton, 93.39.
2589?
29.85,
Okay.
Oh, tons
93.39
per
per ton.
ton.
Okay.
That'd be what?
That's for the, if we did get the grant, that
Put that in there, yeah. And I also put the small piece in on yours road. If you.
This is
Who would come?
3,230 ton,
Wait,
$100.65 a ton.
I'm sorry, say that one more time.
$100.55 a ton. 324,776.50 total.
Okay.
Jay Hutchins.
Hutchins. This is 1,793 ton, 91.50 per ton, 164,059.50. Total bid price 173,209.50.
173,209.50.
They've got 100 ton separated here, that's why, at 91.50.
Can I take a look at those?
Yeah.
Thanks.
You want to take a look at them? Just for
What are they for?
for bid prices for blacktop.
We're doing Chester A. Arthur Road.
And it appears, though we haven't got a dollar number, we're gonna get that state grant this year.
It's a big difference. How many is it?
Yeah, I need to
There's
look
three
at
bids.
those.
Yeah.
3 bids.
It's 324,000 from Whitcomb. 278,000 from Pike.
Now, this is shimmed and
What does
inch and a
Hutchins
half.
say? What's Hutchins bid?
knocked out.
173,
Joe? Is this with shim and an inch and a
Why is
half?
it so much
Yeah,
different?
the big
Come
difference.
right up
in
here,
tonnage.
Joe, make yourself known.
For some reason, there's a big difference with Hutchins tonnage.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. 1,700.
Yeah, how do we evaluate?
Yeah.
Sounds like we got either, one tonnage is significantly less than the other two.
Right, so that's why you gotta know, are they figuring doing a shim coat on the edges? Do you know,
It
bring it
says
up?
on there.
Yeah, they all should be shed.
Right,
Yeah. Is the length?
is your stone
any
skinnier or
different?
something?
No.
You gave them the same length as well?
Yep.
But,
Two of us are pretty much the same as far as tonnages,
yeah,
and one of us is way off. Personally, if being honest with you guys, I would go price per ton. And if you did that, Hutchins has the lowest price per ton. Doesn't matter what you pave. I can estimate it, they can estimate it, we're all gonna come up with different numbers, but we're all gonna put the same mix down, or should. And they would be the lower price. That being said, we've worked up here many times. We wanna keep working with you, but
so you're gonna lower the price?
we could probably work on that a little bit.
Well, we got other things that need paving. When would you be able to do this too?
We'd be, right now, we're booking towards the end of August right now, so it'd be September, before September, right there.
Sometime in the end of the
All of
year.
us are Hutchins, Wickham, Pike,
Yeah.
all booked. A lot of work out there this year.
Oh, yeah.
We need to, for the grant, we need to not do anything before July 1st.
So we gotta find out what the grant is before we commit to anything, right?
Yeah, it really should be here right now, like right now. I don't know why
Yeah,
it's
but
not
you
here.
could
yet.
commit to the budget you've got for Blacktop Park.
Yep.
The other's a whole,
50.
right, you've got 155 in your budget.
Yep.
You couldn't do that tonight. The other is what the state actually comes across with. It's one way of going about it.
And use it all on the same, on the test rate.
Right, and when they get here, start it,
Yeah.
but they know at least they're gonna do the 155 amount we have in our
They're
budget.
gonna be, is it 400 feet down on by Patton Bushes?
I priced that, and that was with which is more money, you know, when you're going down the road,
Yeah,
we have to set up and mow over. So we have to cut two butt joints and that small piece, that added a lot to the cost. So if they didn't price that,
you're talking the culvert you put in last summer? That's
Yes.
just the top coat?
Yep. About, I think it was around 400 feet.
460 feet
Yeah.
is what I measured.
Where's that Cahove afterwards, where
Yeah.
it started just there
And it's just
to
trying to get
cover
us.
over what we did last year. And rest be Cheshire right there. Starting at the intersection,
Can I get
Yeah.
pipe for a minute there?
So where we're on Chester Arthur, where would we start?
right at this intersection, right at North Road there, and heading.
Go the furthest?
It's,
Is that the worst of it, or is it worse past that bridge going up the hill? I mean, I'm thinking to myself, we gotta be real here, what we're gonna do.
Yeah.
When you get past Magnus, up through that hill and on the flats, that's where the worst part of that, in my mind, that's where the worst part of it is. It's far worse than down here in this corner and down the beds. You run it, you're the guy that knows more than I do about it.
Get in with me tomorrow, take a ride, and
But I just know,
it's hard. It's
Yeah.
hard.
Right, there's 6 more left down in the other.
It's all hard when you're gonna start, and they're gonna be next year, again.
yeah,
You know, do rest, keep on going, but.
If you start there, we definitely wanna fix that crossing by Ned's. Or is that?
or if you
this
started,
year?
yeah, or you, right, if you didn't, if you went, start the other side of the bridge and go up, and go as far as we can go. It's up, I'm just,
You gotta do the whole thing
Yeah.
shot.
Oh, yeah, right.
Start at the intersection this year and
take where we go.
keep going next year. So do we wanna commit to the 155?
I would get ourselves lined up,
I
because,
said, get in the queue and get them there.
and that's guaranteed done by a set date, because one time we got into a hassle where somebody didn't show up till about November trying to do it.
I can do that if you want me to put that in there.
Well, I just know that time there, we had quite a hassle. You know, a lot of projects going on, we kept getting delayed and delayed.
Why don't you let me, if you award it to me, we'll do 9/15, is that fair? September 15th, it'll be done by September 15th?
As soon as possible would be great, so that we can get that money back into our budget.
But
Right,
not
but I'm
July.
just- Yeah,
Yeah, but not July, well, not before July.
Yeah, it'd be preferable, like, for you guys, if we could do it all together, you know, once you get your, and John Wilkins should be able to tell you that now,
Mhm.
because I've heard some others with Highgate and some other
that we're getting the grant
grants,
this year.
yeah, I thought I heard 135,000 for you guys, but I don't wanna say
I haven't
that.
heard any of it. All I've heard is that we're getting it. I
Yeah,
just don't know how
that
much.
too, for sure, you're getting the grant.
So don't base your final price on that.
So Hutchins is the low bidder.
Well, he said he was gonna
But-
match it, didn't he?
No, you can't.
You said you,
You'd have to get
that it's an open, yeah.
Right.
I'm staying out of it. Cousin Joe, I don't want anybody saying, oh, a French cousin was up in the middle.
What's the difference between the lowest and the next? Dollars per ton?
The unit price for Hutchins is 91.50, Pike is 93.39, and Whitcomb is 155 cents. So it's like $2 basically between the low and the middle.
And this is a set price. This is one of those where we'll get a bill and we'll say, wow, we had to do a cost adjustment or any of that foolishness.
Well, we
There's
do
a-
have
there's
that
a
in there, we
stipend
can
in
take
there.
that out. It actually works for the towns too, with that's based on the market price, we all put it in there.
So if the price of oil were to drop,
And then we would do a asphalt adjustment, escalation or de-escalation, depending on what the posted price was. But we could freeze it where it is now, if you wanted to.
Hutchins did significantly less, had significantly less tons than Pike for some reason.
And Wickham.
And
Those other two guys are both about the same.
I'm not really sure why that's off so much.
So what do you gentlemen want to do?
So I make a motion to go with a little better sector.
So we got a motion to go with Pike Industries on this, for at least,
So Hutchins was lower.
did you want Hutchins? You got down?
Yeah, a little better. Is there, we care, I mean,
I'm staying out of
I don't
it.
care about your feelings, John, but
Yeah.
haven't we got anything, I mean, the jobs are by the town.
Yeah. Did Hutchins put any date, finish date, start date, finish dates?
Didn't have any dates, and I'm kind of wondering if they didn't include, so they only bid for the Chester A. Arthur Road, for one. I think they just did the part that's not covered by the grant. That's what it seems like they did.
So they did. So they weren't including
Yeah, they didn't do a second North Road,
the 400 and some
Bid
odd
for the
feet, got my
bids,
patent
yeah.
versus, right?
right? 417.
And the rest of Chester A. Arthur.
But that's what I'm saying. I don't think that they did the rest of the grant-funded Chester A. Arthur section.
Yeah, if I could address the board, you know, a lot of times, like if people don't bid what they're asked to bid, a lot of times the bids are thrown out, you know. I know what Morris asked me to bid. I don't know if he asked everybody to bid that, but I would assume he did.
They're all the same. You know, we're down the North Road, because we're figuring if we have enough money, we'll go 2 miles, not just past Wanza Road.
Yeah.
That's where,
That way we
roughly end up.
Oh, make a big dent in it.
Yep. Be about halfway.
Yeah,
Yeah, 4.5 miles.
Yeah.
I'm not sure why that they didn't do the third section of the bid.
You guys like that?
I'm uncomfortable going with not the low bidder unless somebody, I mean, I even studied those, I'd like to know, like Mo to kind of look and you,
I can't.
Yeah, specifically.
unless there's something that kicks it out or there's some
Well,
reason that.
just the fact that it's missing a whole section of the road that we had requested the bid cover.
Because it costs you, when you do this road here, then you say, when you do 500 feet over here, there's an associated cost of moving that equipment and having them start this one, this short distance. Unfortunately, it costs you more for that than it does a longer distance in one section.
$7,000 just to move, is what I usually cost it.
So that's what I'm just, like, again, I'm not voting on this, but I'm just bringing up what the difference in price might accumulate to. Because you do get charged, I don't care who it is, when they have to set up at another
Good move,
site.
they gotta, like you said, they gotta cut 2 joints. If you're doing 20 miles, no big deal, but if you're doing 400 feet, it takes half a day while the rest of the guys are waiting around.
Plus, he doesn't have all the tonnage in there either, it don't sound like. Good enough.
I'm not super worried about that. What do you guys like? I mean, we didn't, you guys talked them over, right? I mean, it's not like there's a specified 20-page document of what we're looking for, and these are the stations. and-
So it sounds like you'll either go with the low bidder or who doesn't have all of the sections on there, and we'd have to get a revised price. Or we go with the second to the lowest, which is Pike.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to see when they're gonna do this, right? Be nice.
You've gone through that, remember that time?
Yeah, I
Swamp
know.
Road? That was one, I won't go through that again. That was.
But they're all gonna give you the same answer, and then it'll be whatever.
Well,
the
he
state
has,
work is
he has a
done.
definite
Well,
answer.
we've done it before where we put stipulations in, if you don't get it done, you're gonna have a fine, you're gonna pay a premium. Premium, if you say September 15th, you don't get it done till October 15th or 20th, there's a price in between they pay because they didn't meet the deadlines that were required, that we contractually agreed upon. So Yeah, there's some merit, I'm telling you, just from past experience,
Yeah,
there's
no,
merit.
I think as long as you do that.
Oh, he's got the North Road on here.
Which one now?
Hutchins. Yeah.
I don't think, but it looks like he didn't calculate two separate.
On the other, on the Chester Arthur Road, it's not even close.
Right,
Yeah.
it's off by about the same amount as one of the sections that the other two bid.
Mo, can you hear that?
Yes, I do.
Oh, for the purpose of tonight, Gary, right? Because we're only gonna commit tonight to the first mile or whatever it is,
Yeah.
155,000.
Right, and I don't, by the certain date, you should definitely know about the remainder of that grant, right?
Mhm.
We're only committed to that, but you're not gonna change companies to keep going.
Right.
So
That's a
so
part.
really, you're committed to the whole thing.
Yeah, yeah, it's not sectional, it's,
Yeah.
but, yeah, not staying out of the vote, so you have to figure out what you want.
So next year, we need to give you a list of start here and here.
That's,
This is our date.
those work a lot better. I'd be happy to help you guys. I've got a bunch of RFPs that we do with other towns, you know, just to copy off of them.
Yeah.
Makes it easier on us too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because some guys do that as a little trick. They'll go in there and bid 1,000 ton when the job's really 2,000. The select board says, "Oh man, half off," you know. When they look at the big number, but really price per ton, we're all going to do the same.
Right.
And this all comes out of Swanton.
Bunch of local guys there. Keep that in mind. If it makes any difference.
Where does Wickham come out of?
Wickham will be out of Winooski. Hutchins will be out of Irisburg.
Okay. Didn't know where they operated out of.
I believe you can do it cheaper out of that far.
So on this Hutchin, there's
Do they
two,
have to
there's
know
two,
tonight?
there's,
Well, we said we were opening it tonight, we opened.
there's two,
There's a second page.
the second page is $88 a ton.
Oh, we missed the second
And that has
page.
that probably has the rest of the North Road on there.
Well, no, it's the
No.
same amount, it's just a different,
Unit price?
it's a different price. Instead of 91, it's 81, 88, 88.50. So, and I'm struck by, you know, as we've all said, one
We had Wickham.
one quote is for 29,
Wickham before.
3,000 tons, and one quote is for 2,000.
Yeah, but they need to be added together, those?
No, I don't think so. Do you see any difference in the notes, Dave, with on those two quotes?
One's half-inch stone, one's 3/8.
Okay, that's just,
So he's making two offers, two different materials. We'd be $2 cheaper with half inch too, 2 or 3,
Because it's bigger stone,
less liquid.
yeah.
Oh, is that what it is? Yeah.
Don't know as well,
I was gonna say, it doesn't bind as well either, does it? I didn't think so.
of course.
Yeah. It's like when the old man used to make cement, 6-1. Them rocks don't make cement.
what is this, what is that number right there? Is that?
That's the footage, so 9,110 feet,
Okay, so that's like width of the road and
yeah,
length?
roughly 2 miles, not quite 2 miles.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's just, not the width, it's just the length.
Right, it's about 22 feet wide.
Were you
What's
gentlemen
the
gonna
difference
do?
of the two?
$91.50 for 3/8 and $88.50 for half inch. $3 ton? Will you commit to a date to be done by?
Yeah, we'll commit to September 15th.
Does that work for you, oh, whatever you might need to do to the road?
Yeah. Once you get chloride, we'll get onto that road.
Like down by Ned's on the railroad crossing, fuel crossing. Didn't we fix that once?
Yes, we did.
So what would have to be done there again to try to get it not?
It don't, at the railroad crossing, don't do that, where they're,
It's past
because,
it.
yeah, because we dug it out,
Right, I
put
thought we
stone.
did a,
fabric, new culvert in there.
yeah, just past that then it's,
Yeah, it didn't, needs a ditch down the left-hand side,
yeah.
and down the road.
But this would give you, September 15th would give you plenty of time to
Yeah.
get the
Maybe
things
that
done.
would be a project task or a new engineer
Yeah,
before we put a blacktop on it to see if he's had some recommendations.
it's not a bad idea.
You
The-
gotta spend a little bit more now than
Yep, go back through and dig in
do
the
like the state does.
Yeah.
Put blacktop
Pave
in
it,
and dig
dig
it
it
all
up.
up, through the culverts in and.
That job we did on
So the-
105, we made all kinds of bonuses for ride and everything. He did a great job. And they cut 2 culverts in it. Paid us all kinds of money for bonuses, then they cut into it.
Yeah, and I almost lost the front end of my car one
That's
day.
crazy.
And,
Mm-hmm.
So there was one
One on
other thing
Gallows
about the
Corner.
grant, that there was a caveat that the project may need to undergo an environmental review. And any special conditions such as that would show up on their grant award, so we'd have to look at whether or not that we'd have to do an environmental review as well.
That's fairly typical.
Yeah, and that would give us time, I mean, if we could do that earlier.
I mean, I haven't read it all, but I think I'd rather go with Pike and try, I mean, that's so many ifs in there that, and they don't have the complete thing.
So would you withdraw your
I
motion?
will withdraw.
I'll make a motion, we go with Pike and have a stipulation that, would you say, by
September 15th.
Yeah,
I don't know, you want the price per ton in there, Tom, or no?
no, it's on the paper.
It's on the contract, so. well,
Yeah.
Will someone second that motion? Brian's still reading.
Well, I'm mostly confused because I got one quote that says, 9,700 feet on Chester Arthur, that's Wickham. And then, from Joe, from Pike, we got 9,100 feet. And then from Hutchin, we don't have any. So I think this RFP suggestion is a good one because it's hard to evaluate this quote because there's no detail on what the distance
Right.
is.
Right,
It's impossible to evaluate the quote.
right.
So I'm uncomfortable going with the lowest. I mean, I think we're obligated in some ways to go with the lowest bidder unless we have a reason, a defendable reason, which.
It's an incomplete bid.
Well, I know, that's what, I'm trying to feel comfortable with what I would,
Exactly.
if someone looked me in the eye and said, why did you not go with the lowest bidder? It doesn't, there's not enough information to evaluate. Because this is a third less asphalt,
Yeah, that's
a
huge.
third less.
Yeah.
That's 1,000 ton.
And it's not explicitly clear that it's 4,000 feet versus 10,000.
Right, I mean, that's what I'm saying, that's why it's hard, it's impossible to
Yep.
evaluate, unless we want to delay. But it's impossible to evaluate whether this quote is responsive to an RFP, which is kind of for us next time. And given that, then we're getting some other conditions that we're doing on the fly here, which are good for the town, but contractually, legally, Yeah.
Moving forward, we need to do a little better, it doesn't have to be fancy, but just a one-page RFP
Yeah.
and lay our stipulations out.
well, like the 15th September is good for the town, but these other two bidders don't have the opportunity to look us in the eye and say,
They could have been here.
No, I know, I just,
No, you're right, though. I think we're defendable. There's enough missing on Hutchins that even going back asking, there's a lot of detail missing there. The other two are comparable. We can justify what the mileage is, what the tonnage is. We've worked with them. I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think there's nothing wrong with asking a completion date at this point.
no, I don't, there's nothing wrong with asking it, but if the other two competitors aren't here, I'm gonna second the motion.
Is there any other discussion before we vote? If there isn't, all those in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed?
And you're abstaining?
Yep. Looks like you'll eat next week, Joe.
The kids wear new shoes.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for your time, guys.
Well,
Thank you.
And I would be happy to help you with an RFP.
yeah.
Yeah, we'll take a draft RFP, please, to Kathy.
Send a bunch of them to Kathy.
Yeah, that'd be good.
We have one, and that's in my office.
Good night, guys. Thanks again.
Yeah.
See you
It was
this
ready
fall.
for you to look
Yeah.
at.
Yeah.
Okay, so, looks like we have some guests in the background there. You guys wanna come up?
We don't have anything to input. We were just here because we've never made a selectmen meeting.
So you-
And there is some things that you guys are discussing in your past meetings, and we don't want to be forgot about.
They live on Menard Road.
What are your names?
Particularly the windmills. Nicholas Rowe and Aaron Rowe.
Thank you.
Okay, so you're observing and reporting to yourselves.
Correct.
Did they pay admission at the door?
Do you have something to share with us, or?
Not tonight. It's too busy. Look at my yard, I was too busy.
Do you want to come up? Do you have anything you want to share, or just?
No, I don't have anything to share. No, I saw it on the last few agendas, that they were here talking about it. And I just want to try and get in the habit of coming more often to listen in.
Then you should sit right up in front in those chairs.
They have pillows, though.
Well, next meeting, bring your pillow. Okay, so,
I'd like to make a motion, we approve the minutes from 24 April.
okay. Someone second that?
I would like to amend them to say.
If you second it, we can amend them.
Okay, then I'll second it.
Okay, then what would you like to amend?
I'd like to say Riley Road's off of Duffy Hill.
Say what?
Riley.
Road's off of Duffy Hill, not Pumpkin Village.
Okay.
Okay. Is there anything else anybody wants amended before we accept them as such?
I'm good.
So, all in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? The minutes are approved. So, I guess, according to this, Linda, you got some information for us, or Kathy first?
No, I think Morris, doesn't Morris, you wanna go first? Okay, I'm
Just keep it
short.
short.
I am short and sweet. Cemeteries. We've already got a complaint about Bradley Cemetery not being taken care of this year, so you didn't add them to the list, right?
Nope, they have to come before us
Yep,
and petition or request that we take it over.
I know, and he hasn't done that,
They
but,
haven't done it, and as a person that has somebody, they need to get after him or the state, one or the
Well,
other. They're a
exactly.
501c.
he,
I'm trying to think
the-
who said they were gonna get after him real bad, but.
well, the person that called me, oh, I was hoping it was somebody different. Nope, it's that person.
But the town can't just go and say, we're taking over the cemetery.
Yeah. So St. Patrick's plots are 500, but they're having a meeting, so not sure about if they're gonna change that.
Excuse me.
Sheldon is 550. I reached out to Rhett Heald. He said 6 to 760, but includes markers.
That's Field, did you say? What was the last one?
Healed.
Heald Funeral Home, just to ask
Oh,
what
okay.
the average is, you know, no specific cemetery, just
Yeah,
what the average, so that's different, because we don't do, yeah.
we only have one that's actually surveyed out, which you could do markers on, so.
Yeah, so anyway, I don't know if you want to stay at the 500, or what you were thinking.
Gentlemen, you have a suggestion?
I would stay at 500.
I'm in agreement on that. I don't think you need to make a motion, you just leave it as
Okay.
is.
liquor licenses caused quite a bit of confusion this year because they were done online. And so got a call from Fairfield Market on Thursday when the liquor license was gonna expire on Monday, the 1st, saying they hadn't got their paperwork. I said, well, it's online now. So she went online and did it and brought the check for $70. So I called Tom, because usually the temporary ones, you have given the right to okay. So I called Tom to say, can I okay this? And he gave permission, but we're gonna bring it up at this
So
meeting.
it's a formal,
Yep. The other one is your pizza place. They sent it online, but they haven't made payment yet. So that one hasn't been approved. So I don't know if you want to say that one's approved, the other one could be approved once they bring payment. However you want to word your motion or make two
Yeah.
motions.
yep. How do you want to do it, gentlemen?
I think it's just a lot what you said exactly.
Yeah. I'd make sure that they're aware they haven't made payment, and won't have a liquor license.
There was in the portal, you can respond. This response was payment needs to be received by town prior to approval. The ball's in her court.
Let's just approve the market.
Yes,
When
approve the
they-
market, or how do we do that? Ratify the temporary approval? I guess that's the best way to do it. So we ratify the temporary approval, and all in favor of that, doing it that way?
Yeah.
And anybody opposed? So we'll get that one out of the way.
And if
Who
the pay,
seconded that?
I did.
so if the other one comes in tomorrow, they're gonna have to wait 2 weeks?
Yep.
No temporary,
Yep,
okay?
we'll get it together.
That's, they gotta keep up with it. That's it,
They will next year.
Yep.
Don't need a liquor license at my house.
Mo, what you got to go?
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Linda.
Got water softener bids, 2 different ones. I think it is cheaper. Who's it? One from Chevalier and one from Callaghan.
Callaghan.
And, right there, their proposal, we got your glasses on,
Yeah.
and the price.
So I'd say they're reasonably close, right? Oh, wait a minute, second one behind it.
That just telling you how hard the water is and the, wait,
Is it the other one's Callaghan?
Callaghan.
Yeah.
Will that do all the water?
Yeah, it's, huh?
That do the water over the salt shed too?
No, just over there.
So that'll
No,
water within the garage, or
just, yes, in the garage.
the water that goes, if you get another station outside, that doesn't go through the garage?
Right.
Oh, okay.
And I meant to give Larry, ask him a call. I didn't call him till this morning. I didn't got a call back. Another of the 2 quotes I got for it now.
And what's this gonna do other than take the spots off your truck?
Water softener it is.
Right, is it gonna be better on the boiler, or?
Yes,
It's gonna have the boiler
Yes.
too?
yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, we had to do some work on that and pull that apart and that's a coil inside
Yeah.
and inside that, yeah.
Mo, which of these options are you proposing? Like each one of these, or just
No,
The one you got the handwritten part on?
like
I tell you, when you read.
the water softener? Just,
No, there's another, where's the other bid? This is Chevalier's, yeah, no.
This is the one that,
This is just how hard the water is.
right.
that one there is from Callaghan.
And this is what Chevalier gave for Maybe it's in,
You didn't want these back, I assume?
I think this is the one where they
What is
read
that?
The bid.
Oh, I do want
But this is what you're looking for? This
Yeah.
the
Oh.
software?
So it's 2550? That's,
No,
Yeah.
they're
That's
gonna,
nothing for us to do.
that.
well, they wanted
Yeah,
us
this
to
is a
apply to see what we
filter.
thought,
Filter
you know,
is their
experience
first,
and all
and
that crap.
that's a
so-
filter, yeah, labor and.
So it's
Yeah,
this as
quite a bit
opposed to,
higher.
what's
Yeah.
it,
53.
53?
It's the end of it.
they go with
We didn't
Are you
see-
talking about the
The
library
sidewalk,
one?
yeah.
Yeah, jetty,
Give
excavation.
Larry West
one,
policy,
and then
yeah,
that one.
I called this morning.
That was the only one I saw,
Last week,
but it was $5,000 difference between.
This quote would be.
I mean, I guess if that's what they want.
The other one was.
Well, and you're,
the
that's
locos
gonna
plowing and
do all the
excavation.
water in the town garage, the boiler, washing trucks, all that. Cause
Yeah.
the water in town is super hard. I know my parents got a water softener, cause it, same thing, the
Yeah,
pipes inside of the water.
paper,
Yeah,
Chevalier said it was 13 and one said 13, one said 10. Yeah, 13 for Chevalier, what they came up with, the hardness of it.
So,
Yeah.
you wanna spend money on water softener? Wanna make a motion? We do
I
this?
think we could, yeah. I think that boiler would make a difference too. Anything is,
Yeah. So I'll second the motion to go with
That one run both places, right?
Chevalier.
What's that?
That
make a
one run
motion to go with
both stations, right?
water softener.
Just the town garage.
Yeah, I said it wouldn't, you couldn't,
Oh,
It's
I
a
don't
different-
think so.
Different services off the water main.
Dave, you wanna second that?
Yeah, I'll second it.
You second it. Any more questions before we vote?
nope. I think
All
it's
in
well
favor?
worth it.
Right?
Right.
Anyone opposed?
I'm gonna abstain. Dennis is a Dennis Chevalier is my brother-in-law,
Oh,
so I'll stay out of it.
Oh, good.
so now we know who gets a better price. Okay, so we're all set with that one, I guess. What else you got, Mo?
I had bids on sand. I don't know, Matt give you anything, Tom?
No.
No. But we can table this till I get them all together.
Yeah, probably a better idea, so we get
Yeah.
apples to apples.
We're just first part of May here,
Yeah, what do you figure you have, like a quarter of a?
40 feet. And it's 172 feet long, 170 feet long.
And you don't go all the way out anyway, right?
No, right.
So you're probably
We go-
160 something? I assume.
Yeah.
150, 160, something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know
Putting it
if
to
it
the
was-
door.
They were,
Yeah,
Last-
yeah,
this-
but we're on that angle with that fuel tank. in.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, you still came to the door and had a little bit outside.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
fall.
just put a little less down, other than Menard.
No, I put extra in the neighbors.
Yeah, gotta keep neighbors happy. Yeah, we'll do that the next meeting if you get, make sure we got them all.
That'd be better. That'd be it. We just we're scraping, getting the chloride put on now, so.
Yeah. One thing I wanted to bring up, just happened the other day, they're mowing the lawn. And I was talking to Jim and Jim Mead come along. So I was saying, how old is that lawnmower we're using right now?
Roger put it there in 2006, and
About a year
a
later?
year, 2 years later. Yeah, so,
Got it from Milton Rental, I remember that. But they were just talking, you know, I was, that day they had the chainsaw and everything else on it. Things getting tired. So I just said, I'm gonna bring up, just so we start thinking about it. What are we gonna do? Do we wanna try to buy like a little four-wheel drive one, or get it in a bid with other lawns and get done? Cause do they do it about once a week? Is that what they
once
do?
a week.
Yeah. I mean, so far it's worked out with them doing it, but I think that machine must be getting kind of tired.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just something to be thinking about. Maybe sometimes you have to be somewhere and just see what a mower would cost, a little four-wheel drive one. Something that they can use for. I know that's pretty steep with those chains on. I've seen
Is
that.
it just, you mow, well, like in front of the garages, but you don't mow anything out back, do
Yeah, we.
Yeah, they go
well,
up behind
behind
the
the
hill.
you? You do go out back?
Town garage and fire, that part of it.
Yeah, that's for the septic field up there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's on the,
It's pretty, some of it's pretty steep mowing.
oh yeah.
Oh, even by the stench, it's pretty,
Yeah, so I just wanted to bring that up, and I think we get thinking about it.
I don't know if you could do it all with a zero turn or not. I mean, they go up some pretty good hills.
I don't know, I've seen that one with chains on it spin out pretty good.
That sounds terrifying.
Frank, or where you just said, Mill Brento, they brought some up to Hardap,
Really?
zero turns.
To do that hill?
Mm-hmm.
Holy mother. Did they work?
They said it did.
Zero turns okay going up or down.
Never
So
sideways.
sideways, you can't
Yeah.
hold them. They're terrible. I got one.
Yeah. I got it done.
I can't mow down over to the water with mine, because you can't hold the front end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we want to see our demonstration anyway.
Wow, I'm
They'll
just
bring
saying.
one up here. if we-
You can go straight uphill, you can go right straight uphill, I don't bother them.
And you can go downhill?
You can go downhill, yeah,
Don't ever go.
but you can't go sideways.
Mm-hmm.
And if you've got a turn in a hill, you can't do it. Yeah.
Well, it's good to know these things.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So you put a bumper down by the lake so you don't go in or what?
I use a different tractor down there.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
So, the Fairfield Bridge on Route 36, you would ask me, when is that gonna be done? And it's not going to be done until spring, between spring and fall of 2024 now.
Oh,
And I did find out that when they bring that information to us, they'll provide direct information when they're getting close to it. And one of the things they'll give us is a local bypass grant.
a local what?
A local bypass grant application. And this is, it comes after the contractor is chosen by the state. There's no match. And it could help,
That's what they
it
told
could
us,
help
like
us plan
$1,500
for some
for
of
a
the,
sign.
yeah, but he said that you can be, for example, I brought up the Chester A. Arthur Bridge and that we were really concerned that people might end up on that bridge and
Or in the.
or
Black
in the
Creek.
river, exactly. And he said that that grant could potentially help with strengthening up some of that bridge, he said. So that was one of the options. I can work more with him, but yeah, mostly he said it's used for signs and making sure that people know the load limits really clearly and not to go on the roads that are, should not,
They
that
ain't
should
gonna
not
follow
be.
that. That's when they came that first time, we talked about that, and they said they can put the signs up, but we know where they're gonna go. They're gonna take the
Right.
shortest route. They ain't gonna go way down the
Yeah,
south.
nobody's gonna do that, yeah. So, I
So
brought-
we told them, they said, you're gonna have some roads to fix when you get done.
yeah, so I guess this grant is supposed to help with that, but this is the information, so you can have it for your records. The bypass is basically telling everybody to go all the way around Fairfield. It's not gonna happen, but there you
That's
go.
gonna be,
That's it. That's done
so
tomorrow.
that would be at least till next year. so-
It's gonna be next year, yep.
Yeah.
They had it, the estimated construction for the summer of 2023 on the description, but then if you look at the project milestones, it's different, and so I called them to verify which one we were looking at.
And how long is that bridge going to be closed? Guesstimated.
I'm not sure. They have to get their contractors and some of that all lined up before they'll tell us. So. Yeah, so that's that. The striping, I don't know if David and
Yeah,
do you guys want-
we got that, like I talked to you about. We'll change it from 60 degree to 45 degree, because that's probably exactly what Jim Smith had planned on, because that brings it from, right now at 26 spaces, and he's got on his sheet 22 spaces, and if you go 45 degrees to 60, you come up with 22 spaces. So,
So this is the original, and it sounds like it's accurate, but it's not what they did the first
Right.
time around.
Okay.
yeah.
So I,
It's a difficult site.
So you gain,
The whole thing
you
is
gain a few
brown.
more parking spaces or lose
We're gonna lose 4,
Okay.
but we're gonna have the same amount that Jim Smith designed.
Originally designed.
originally
Right.
done.
They added 4 because they closed the angle.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So is there times when all of them are full that are there presently?
Oh, yeah, yeah, not a lot, though. I'd say 2-3 weekends a summer.
Okay. And will this make it easier for vehicles to get by on the main drag?
Yeah.
It should at least turn the back of your trucks and your SUVs out
So
of
they're
traffic.
not
a
sticking
little
out
bit.
here with a ball hitch out?
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, right now you come around the corner and there's always a kid standing in the back of the van, you know, trying to get their
The
soul
other
out.
thing is, if you get this vehicle turned like that, somebody getting stuff on the back, you get more protection from the.
Yeah. No, you guys go by and live with it far more than I ever have, so I.
The other question, and we talked a little bit about, do we white stripe the side, from the side edge of the road? But
They did that the first time today. Boy, that's.
I think anything we can do to give a demarcation, because there is no
I thought there was
demarcation.
one you-
It's,
I thought there was at the back of them too, but I could be full of
you
it.
don't think so?
and when it's 85 degrees on a Saturday in July, it's dangerous.
The problem,
I mean-
we've had different little opinions, but with the white line, it kind of makes people think, well, I gotta get out the road. Yeah, so they pull up to the curb. As it is now, with nothing behind them, they just stop.
So
wherever.
you think, what you're thinking is a white line would be beneficial?
Right, because to me, they'll try to pull up and
Yeah,
far enough to get past that white line.
yeah,
Because now, with nothing, they don't really care, so.
yeah. Well, you guys, I
But
mean,
he
you live
said,
far more than
he
I
was
do.
saying that with the white line, it might give people coming down the highway a sense of,
Right, it gives both sides, right? The car, oh, my kid's fine, he's on this side of the line, or I pulled up far enough. But Gavin coming around who doesn't drive it very often says, oh, I've got a white line, I'm fine. And I don't think it's a bad idea, like I said. I drove by it a couple times since then. Even a dashboarded line or something just to give you,
Yeah.
get the
give you-
cars ahead and keep the kids out of it.
yeah.
Would you do it just on, next to where the striping, or would you do the outside line too on the other side, just to give them, some markings?
The other side, is that where there was supposed to be a place to put your pickup in a boat? and
Yeah,
that
there's a
kind of
little
thing?
bit of parking on that side.
Yeah,
Relying
there is quite a little bit of parking on the other side,
So
so.
we would have just bought that acre of land and given the money to the state, so we could take that wetlands and make a parking lot.
Right,
That's a damn tight.
So you want,
Could put a little more there, right, make it a little wider maybe, or can?
What's the
There's-
width of,
yeah,
getting
there's-
the center line to white line, do you know?
Where we put it, 12 feet,
12 feet.
10 feet.
Yeah, you've got a 22-foot wide road, right?
Yeah,
Well, it's 11 feet then,
Yeah.
center line.
yeah, okay.
11 feet, is that what you do?
I don't put no white lines on.
What's that?
We don't put no white lines on.
Yeah.
So.
Good through that area, just.
Oh, yeah.
Just
wait,
because of
say-
the
so
nature of the beast.
Congestion.
on this map, I need to give this to the striper.
Right.
I need to know he needs to know specifically by Wednesday where we would put that line. Do you wanna draw it on here for me?
Definitely, I agree with the line behind the vehicles, that's what you suggested, so they pull in far enough.
I think we'll get people to make sure.
The
they
other
get
side of
out.
the road, I have an opinion one way or the
Well,
other.
let me ask you, if it was 12 feet from the center line and you've got a 60 degree, or you go to 45 degrees, what's the length of the parking spot?
You got room.
For
The only place you don't have room is where it says compact cars, because I put my truck there to see, so we got a good 12 feet.
How many compact cars can it take? I mean, is it
I think
2 lots,
4.
3 lots?
I think it's 4, isn't
Is
it?
it 3 or 4?
Yeah, 3 or 4 spots where it kind of closes in on the point.
So that line would be, what Kathy's asking to be 12 feet? 12 feet from the center line?
Yeah.
So, yeah, they be the line behind the vehicles 12 feet from the center line, you're saying?
Is there a center line on that road
I
now?
was gonna say, can you redo the center line? Because that would help, same thing, it would help define where your lane is, because it's kind of faded now.
If you did the center line, that'd change everything kind of a little bit.
Can you put any more on, as you're coming from your way, can you put any more on that side of the road without getting into violation or anything?
You could, if you had.
There's a wetland situation.
Where you are now is where far as we could go.
That was the limit we could go.
Well, how about this, unless you guys are volunteering, how about Mo make sure that, it's like these questions that you're asking, I'd like to get somebody who's got their eyes on it so when we do this paint stripe, it's right, and not just,
The 45 angle, that's right. The question is the center, the white line
Behind
from the
vehicles.
center line.
Yeah, 45,
I would go-
45 degrees on this.
I guess you measure from the
Standard.
curb where you're gonna park the bumper all the way across the road, see how wide it is. Then divide it up with your cars.
It's kind of laid out. I mean, the center line's where it is. You got a 12-foot lane on either side of it.
Right,
That's what the pavement, that's what pavement you've got to work with.
right.
And by going to a 45-degree angle, it actually gives you more room. Because instead of sticking out at a 90 or 45,
Yeah.
your cars turn.
Right, I realized, but I didn't know if there was, I thought there wasn't a center line there.
Oh, there's separate, yeah.
Oh, sounds like white stripe. and
White
then
stripe.
So are you saying white stripes on each side? Or are you saying white stripes behind the vehicles and then
White stripe,
center
12 foot
line?
off center line.
Yeah, what we're saying, do you want on both, behind the vehicles and across the road?
Yeah,
Yes, actually, because then guys parking their boats
They need to stay,
might get outside of that.
Right,
they might
that's
be,
what I was thinking, just to get,
there's a line, you guys aren't, you're on this side of it, vehicles should be going further.
Like I said,
Yeah.
And they're gonna do what they're gonna do, and you're not gonna spend all weekend trying to say, hey guys,
okay, so the line
Well, they're
behind
definitely gonna do
vehicles,
what
center
you're-
line,
what they're
and the
gonna
line on
do.
the other
Yeah.
side.
The next question is how far are we going with the white line? We gonna cover the boat access? Or just,
I'm open to ideas, because you guys live in
I
experiences.
mean, I would go the length of the pond from the foot of your hill
yeah,
over to the, you know,
boat access part?
Yeah.
the, yeah,
start 50 feet
or to the
east of
cast,
that
or
fire
the
hydrant and go.
trailer
50
park.
feet around that.
Oh, the oven lot. The oven lot. You're talking down a little further on the
Yeah.
oven.
So the consensus on where do we start and where do we end?
We're just gonna start at the fire hydrant. Both sides. I say we end just past the boat ramp spot.
Yep.
And I can put green paint there for them, so.
Yeah, and if you get the heads up.
And if you're home that day, Ron.
Yeah,
Did you say you were gonna put green paint there?
Just 'cause I got some green marking paint out.
You have some,
Yeah,
okay.
I'll put start, green
Okay.
paint start,
Okay.
yeah.
nice.
Can we authorize him to be on duty that day?
They'll be out there right.
The other thing I'm gonna do though, Kathy, is I'm gonna research the standard width of the, you know, what's MUTCD rules. So if we can go to 11 feet, it'd be better.
Yeah.
I have a request. I am getting my daughter from college Thursday and Friday, and then he's painting on Saturday. Would it be okay if he has any questions? I'll talk to him tomorrow about this. If he has any questions, to call you
Yeah, that's
directly?
fine.
Okay. Thank you.
Do you know his number?
Not with me, but yes.
So before we get, somebody make a motion to accept the warrants.
I make a motion, accept the warrants.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Quick question.
Yep.
Who's Rosemary Paulson?
I was gonna say, she's a new sub for the library.
Kathy, you done your report?
No, sorry. Yeah, hold on for a second. So, Village Center's renewal is fully submitted except for one more document, which is a resolution that needs to be signed by the select board. And it says, whereas the municipal, so this would be a motion if you want to so move.
I make a motion.
But let me, there's a municipality of Fairfield is applying for the village designation for both Fairfield Center and East Fairfield. They receive benefit under said provisions. And whereas the Vermont Downtown Program may offer this designation to the municipality, and whereas this municipality is maintaining its efforts to revitalize these centers, now therefore may it be resolved that the legislative body of this municipality authorizes the application for village center designation as discussed at our publicly warned meeting on this date.
So moved.
Thank you.
Somebody second?
Second.
Anyone opposed? All in favor?
Aye.
And we've gone through these before.
So this would be, if you could
You've got
sign
that.
and pass, that would be great.
What about the old town clerk's building? Have we heard any more on that?
So they provided a potential arrangement. They're waiting. They have to wait because they're going to provide an anchor tenant contract to a company that will create the capacity for the actual network to work toward low-income people. So until that legally is bound, they won't be able to give us an exact time that they could move in. So
They're still interested?
they are still interested. They still want to do it. But I would like to know
We're not gonna
how
wait
much
forever if
the
someone
rent,
else
how
offers
much
to
the
rent.
rent might be for them.
Right.
Because we have been kind of outpriced by a co-working space by far for like, in the area. So the rent for the building is similar to renting a desk down the street in one
They want to put
building.
equipment in there.
That's
Right,
true.
when we
They
get
put
to
equipment-
that point, we need to have an
Yeah.
executive session
Right.
and figure out.
So,
But just for reality, is that's gonna be having more equipment than anything in
right, and
it.
we're
If
gonna,
that were to go through.
There's also a difference, we're doing a community
Right.
use of
Service,
building and.
yeah.
That's a whole
So-
different world over there.
when-
The
when it-
discussions will be at that point, I think, at this, I mean, they seem very receptive to all of the other stipulations from previous leases. But they just want to make sure that we're at the right, we need to make sure we're at the right point,
Is it vacant?
It's getting there.
almost. Tax anticipation loan. So I'd like to request, and I have some information for you of how I got to this place. I'd like to request that we have take out a 7-month, $700,000 tax anticipation loan. The rate is 1.85%, and it's based on the number of months, not the amount of the actual loan.
Why are we taking out more
So-
than last year?
Yeah.
We can take out 600,000 if you'd like. I have the calculations. And it's absolutely obviously your decision.
Well, we can always up it if we're forced to, but I'd
We
say,
could.
why did we go for 100,000 more than last year?
This is we could absolutely do a $600,000 loan and take out more if we need to.
That's what I'm more inclined to do.
Okay. In terms
And I
of,
thought we did 600,000 last year simply because we were doing that Jeweler project.
we did, and the reason that it was increased this year was really based on, if you look down at the bottom, the estimated, the expenses that we have planned for May through November are pretty high outside of just the operating budget. So there's North Road, there's the paving grant. I just assumed paving grant at 200,000, Pumpkin Village Road and the FEMA grant payoff. And then I assumed down at the bottom that all of that is gonna end up done on time, and we're gonna get those grants reimbursed at a certain amount. But I don't know for sure that that's gonna happen, so the bottom line is 720,444 if you wanna be exact, but it's definitely worth, I looked back on last year, we never went down below 80,000 once we had our, in terms of our balance sheet, when we had our loan. So we could do the 600,000 and see what happens.
Is the rate the same?
The rate is the same.
Yeah, okay, so,
It's about how long,
Yeah.
not
So the interest on that, you said is 1.4?
the interest is 1.85%. Last year it was 1.6.
For 7 months.
And then you had asked me to find out more about what it would mean to take out a line of credit instead. It's not my recommendation for various reasons, but in terms of rates specifically, you have to take out a 12-month rate, which is 1.95%, and it renews annually at the 12-month rate every year. And then the part that's tricky is that we have no tax anticipation loan ledger set up in Nemrick, and we have no drawdown process at the bank to transfer into the general operating account. And then reconciling monthly would be sort of an inefficient thing with all of that other, setup work that we would need to do. And I don't have the expertise to set up an entire thing, so we'd have to get somebody else in here to do that. the journal entries to reconcile the accounts with NEMRIC will be complicated, and the reason I'm saying this is because these are notes from my meeting with
Dave,
Amanda.
I make a
And
motion,
she was-
you could amend it.
She was pretty strong in her opinion about
I
not doing
make a
this, so.
Why don't I
We
make a
can
mo-
discuss it.
yeah.
So
I make a motion that we authorize the borrow of $600,000 for a tax
Yeah.
anticipation loan,
for a 7-month period.
7-month period,
Is there any
at
interest?
1.805%, or 1.85%, as described.
The fire department has money set
Let's,
aside.
let's get a second, and then we'll,
Oh, and then we can discuss this. Someone just second this, and then,
I'll second it.
okay, so we got a second on that.
Mhm.
So the fire department is saving money for a truck, and we have some ahead in our budget that is currently in a money market, not making much money. We've looked into other ways to save it, keep it aside, and the banks aren't giving a lot of money in CDs or interest. Is there any interest in loaning a portion of that money to the town and treating it, it's basically a, same as, the fire department would treat it like a 6-month CD basically. And the town pay interest to the fire department instead of to the bank.
what's the amount? 150?
We can do 150.
Say, I'm gonna propose an amendment to my motion. Do we borrow?
Just a minute before you do.
Okay,
Is this realistic for bookwork for us?
That's what I was trying to figure out.
That's all I'm
You
asking.
pro-
yeah, no, I understand, I
That's why I
understand.
wanted to bring it up.
Yeah,
yeah.
so what I'm hearing is that we would put this money into a CD and then utilize.
No.
this.
No.
No.
No, instead of taking 600K from downtown bank, we make it 450 from the bank, and we got 150 from the fire department. We paid the same amount, 150, 7 months to the fire department,
Okay.
and 7 months to the bank. So the town's got the same obligation,
The
just
fire
we pay.
department would earn some interest, more interest.
Okay.
You know, better benefit to the town.
Well, it's people's money working for themselves. I guess that's how I do it.
And we would,
That's
and
Yeah.
then we would issue basically a check on a monthly basis as we do with the
Right.
tax interest, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, mimicking the terms and conditions of
No,
the tax.
we don't even want a monthly, this would be when you're done at the end of the 7 months, pay it off.
Okay,
There's no point in borrowing money to pay that money back.
Yeah,
right.
Take it until you're done using it, and
and then pay you back.
And to be honest, I don't want the extra paperwork.
Yeah.
Here's a loan to the town, here's a repayment, 2 simple
Just so everything
transactions.
is, just make so everything is accounted for, and you guys keep the original amount plus the interest it earns in the
Yeah.
7-month period.
Mhm.
Because we're gonna pay that interest to the bank, or.
Yeah.
it's
Oh, yeah.
just-
It's, the money's there, it's not the worst idea I've heard by any means.
So you amended the motion, do you second his adjustment to the motion?
I'm still unsure if you can you really do that without a lot of paperwork involved?
It would be, you would issue a check to the town. The town would deposit it into our general operating funds. We would just make sure that we put that in as an O.
Right, but the town would have to, you'd have to have some document that the
Right.
town owes the fire department $150,000
Right.
plus interest.
Do it based-
Right, and that would just be its own line,
A simple-
10-2. It would be
Okay,
an
if you think
easy,
it's possible.
Yeah.
it's possible and doable for sure.
Just like it.
Well,
Yeah, and if you think this is something you want to check with our attorney,
I was just
maybe
gonna
draft
say,
a
is it
document,
legal?
and the fee would be paid by the fire department. You know, like if there's an additional fee, for an attorney fee, I think
Yeah.
you'd be reasonable to.
Yeah.
No, I think your question is very valid,
Yeah.
but with the, so.
So we
450
want to, just to make it simple and get done out of here, get the information so that with the next meeting, we can make a motion, somebody can second it, it just goes through.
Okay.
Get all, find out if it's legal for the fire department to lend us the money back and all this stuff.
We can do that. Right now, after this AP, we have about $64,000 in the bank. So we're getting down there.
So even then, let's do the 450 today.
Right.
Just sure.
Let's get the bank,
Yeah.
Get us
done,
on board and get
and
it.
whether, if we
Right.
need more or whatnot, then
Yeah.
we'll take it from the.
Okay, I withdraw my
Withdraw the motion.
amendment. We go with the original motion.
No.
No,
No.
you're withdrawing your motion and then.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
Must be after 8 o'clock, yep.
Yeah,
So
time to
withdraw-
wrap this up.
I'll
So,
make a motion, we borrow $450,000.
Okay, I'll
At
second
one
that.
point 85% interest. And you
I'll
second
second
that. Is there any more discussion before we take a vote on this? If there isn't, all in favor?
Aye.
great, thank you.
No one opposed?
I'm rushing through. The energy audit happened. We have no report yet. It's coming. The meeting house on the green wants to use the green lawn for town, the lawn space for a lawn sale. As a fundraiser, they would sell space for people to do their own lawn sale, and then on July 1st. And they were wondering if you had any objections to that.
Does anybody have any objections?
Okay.
Nope.
As long as nobody's using it.
Yep.
Riley Road, I talked with the town clerk and Randy Reed and the select board chair, Stephen Dodd. They said, so Randy said there's still a big trash issue. It's re-upped for the new spring season. Still the same issues that they were talking about last year. And Stephen Dodd said that he was going to discuss with the select board tonight whether or not they want to move forward with you guys to do something to sort of resolve that again. He said that at the end of it, Sheldon would have been willing to throw up the road, but had hesitated because there was not clarity on to whether the select board in Fairfield would be wanting to do that. They didn't want to do anything without being in concert with you guys. So based on their conversation tonight, they would be willing to have another conversation with you all and maybe at the next meeting.
Are you all open to that?
That sound good?
Well,
I mean, I don't think we should be giving it up, but I mean, I don't have a problem putting a gate across.
right.
Yeah, and they also want to talk about that too, so if there's a way that we
You
can
can
do
put a
that.
gate on, but you don't lock it.
Yeah.
Together. All right, and then the only other thing is, a few weeks ago, I told you that that I updated our SAM account. It's a federal site that has the ID number. We get an ID number, a SAM ID number, that then that's how we get grants. And the information that I provided was what they had requested of us. At this time, they rejected that information because it was antiquated, basically. They don't accept they don't allow for a photocopied copy of the Articles of Incorporation, and because our address had never been changed from the old town clerk's office, it didn't line up with their computers, so I had to change the address. I requested a certified copy of our Articles of Incorporations from the Secretary of State. That should be coming soon, and then we can upload all of that information again. In the meantime, the SAM account is suspended until we give them the correct information. So that means that no money can come from the federal government at this time. Hopefully, it all resolves itself within the next couple of weeks. That's what I'm hoping, because the FEMA, as you know, the FEMA grant is gonna come through at some point, and it has to come through that way, so.
Even though the first part of it has already come through.
Right. Yeah, because right now it's suspended and at the time it wasn't. So what they're doing is they're just validating all of their entities as actual entities, and we are considered not in compliance as an entity because we haven't provided we've provided the stuff that we provided before, but it's not accurate.
Is it worth calling FEMA and say, don't send us a check?
I actually have contacted our contact, but I haven't heard back yet, so I don't know that they can hold off.
You should call Bernie. Just a suggestion.
I'm hoping that the Secretary of State just comes right through. That's what I'm hoping. But I just thought you would want to know for sure.
Thank you for the
How
heads
much,
up.
how much do we still have coming from FEMA on that Juware project?
I want to say
Roughly.
200, and I just put it on that document I gave to you.
Yeah. Okay.
It's on that paper.
$206,247.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just a couple of questions from the minutes for you, Kathy, is, photocopy lease.
Oh, yeah.
I had a meeting about that. They're gonna send us, I had a meeting with the guy, the salesperson. They're sending us, 2 different options, and I'll bring that to you when it comes.
Okay, and the audit results still,
I met with Amanda. She has reconciled the audit numbers with the treasurer's numbers. So now we have that going to the auditors, and we should expect that as soon as possible.
good, cool.
Is there-
Health, and here's one that, we're on hold for the health insurance requote.
The insurance requote for property and all of everything, all of it is still on hold with VLCT.
Because,
Because they're reviewing it, they just got through their
Oh.
auditing process, and they need to get through that.
Cool, thank you.
And because, yeah, that's basically where we are.
is there any other business before we adjourn? There isn't, somebody make a motion?
So move.
Second it?
Yeah.
Off we go.
What-